Hello students, we already finished complex number. Now as the protocol, we will discuss entrance questions based on these MCQs, that is based on this complex number. The very first thing is I shared already the material. So you go through with the material and you just read it once, all synopsis, because whatever question appeared in various competitive exam like IIT and UPSC, Maharashtra CET, KCET, JEE West Bengal, all questions is based on that synopsis, almost 90% I will say. So it's important to take care of that material. Okay, if you understand everything, you will easily manage. So in that, the new thing to you is De Moivre's theorem. So what it will say is, always keep in mind, cos theta plus I sin theta. Okay, in complex number shortly written as e power I theta. Okay, this is a new thing. Okay, which already I mentioned in my synopsis, but I always keep in mind cos theta plus I sin theta can be written as e power I theta in complex number. Now what is De Moivre's theorem? It says that cos theta plus I sin theta whole power n can be written as cos n theta plus I sin n theta. So that is called as De Moivre's theorem for any integer. Now one more thing is regarding cube root of unity. Okay, cube root of unity. What is the cube root of unity? It wants to say that we all know that 2 cube is 8. With this I can say cube root of 8 is 2. Yes. Similarly, 3 cube is 27, therefore cube root of 27 is 3. So what is cube root of unity is, we all know that 1 cube is 1. Similarly, do you have any number whose cube is going to be 1? You just tell me, do you have any real number whose cube going to be 1? There is no real number whose cube going to give you answer 1. But in complex number, there are two terms whose cube goes to give you answer 1. So such numbers are called as cube root of unity. So there are 3 cube root of unities. So these are the first cube root of unity is 1. Second cube root of unity is minus 1 plus I root 3 by 2. Second one is minus 1 minus I root 3 by 2. They are called as cube root of unity. They will write it as a 1, comma, this term they will write shortly omega, and this term they will write shortly omega square. You just check. If you square this omega, you will get this answer. You check. Okay. And one more thing, always keep in mind, in the cube root of unity, 1 plus omega square is always equal to 0. With this I can say omega plus omega square answer is minus 1. We can deduce many ways this result. Okay. And 1 into omega square. When you take product of these entries, that is omega into omega square is omega cube. Omega cube into 1 is omega cube. Always keep in mind omega cube answer is 1. So sum of cube root of unity is 0. Product of cube root of unity is always 1. Okay. Just take care of this thing. So this is very important. Sum of cube root of unities is 0 and product of cube root of unity is always 1. These two things I want to add, which I already mentioned. You just take care of this thing. Okay. So with the help of this, I will discuss some entrance question from complex number which is appeared in various national importance exams. Okay. So just take material, because I will not write question, I will not write option. It takes time. Better I discuss questions so that I can discuss more number of questions. Okay. Let me proceed with one by one question. So, question number 1 we'll discuss. If you observe question number 1, it is given what is the value of I raised to 243. It is asked what is the answer for I to the power 243. So we can write this in a many way. One simple method which gives us answer is I raised to 243 can be written as I raised to 240 plus 3. Next you can write it as I raised to 240 into I cube, right? Then you can write it as I raised to 4 times of 60, 64 into I cube. I raised to 4 can be written as I square into I square, right? To the power 60 into I cube. We all know that I square is minus 1, I square is minus 1 to the power 60 into I cube can be written as I square into I. We all know that minus into minus become plus. 1 raised to 60 is 1. I square is minus 1 into this I. So plus into minus minus, your final answer is minus I. That is option B is the right answer for this particular question. Okay. So we will move on to the next question. So option B is the right answer for this particular question. In the second question, they asked us if z square minus 1 is equal to mod z whole square plus 1, then z lies on imaginary axis, circle, real axis and ellipse. So this particular z, what is mentioned in this question, it lies on. How to tackle such question? This one question is 100% sure in any of the entrance examination. It may be JEE, Main, Advanced, KCET, West Bengal JEE, whatever is the entrance exam conducted by national government. So the national testing agency, that question is fixed. Not I am saying exactly this question, that kind of question. So just take care how I will solve. The rest all I will give as an exercise to take care. So what we will do here is, so I'll take let z equal to x plus iy. Okay. So I will substitute here. So this becomes x plus iy the whole square minus 1 is equal to x plus iy the whole square plus 1. So then I will solve this thing. It is x square plus 2xiy plus b square. So b square is I square y square. There I write iy the whole square minus 1. Here it is nothing but mod of x plus iy means square root of x square plus y square the whole square plus 1. Right? So then it is nothing but modulus of x square plus I square is nothing but minus 1. So it is nothing but x square minus y square, because I square is minus 1. Minus 1, I made this as 1 to I common. I wrote it as 2xy. Okay. Square root they got cancelled. X square plus y square plus 1. So it looks like modulus of a complex number. We know how to tackle. It is nothing but square root of x square minus y square minus 1 plus, that is square, right? Then 2xy the whole square is equal to x square plus y square plus 1. I'll take square on both sides so that I can cancel easily. This becomes x square y square minus 1 the whole square plus, I'll write it as 4x square y square, right? Is equal to, I'll take here square so that x square y square plus 1 the whole square. So this is the point you have understood. Now it looks like a minus b the whole square. I'll write it as ax square minus y square. This is a square. Okay, minus 2 times of a into b plus b square plus 4x square y square is equal to a square. Okay, plus 2 times of a b plus b square. So when I expand this becomes x raised to 4 plus y raised to 4 minus 2x square y square minus 2x square plus 2y square plus 1 plus 4x square y square is equal to x raised to 4 plus y raised to 4 plus 2x square y square plus 2x square plus 2y square plus 1. Right? So if you observe x raised to 4 y raised to 4 x raised to 4 y raised to 4 cancel plus 1 get cancelled. So 2y square get cancelled. So I will shift this side. So it will become if you shift this minus 2x square y square on this side, it will become 2x square y square and this 2x square y square become 4x square y square. So that this will cancel with this one. The only term left with 2 minus 2x square plus 2x square. I will shift this side. It becomes 4x square equal to 0. So 4x square equal to 0 means x square equal to 0. When x square equal to 0, only case is x equal to 0. We all know that in x plus y, if this term becomes 0, only that term is imaginary axis. Therefore, this particular z, what is mentioned in this equation, it is a imaginary axis because x is 0. If this term vanishes, only imaginary axis will be. So the option A is the right answer for this particular question. So such question will appear in your competitive exam. It's 100% surety. So such problem give more importance. Take less time. Okay, here I solved each and every step. But in entrance, you make sure or you make practice in such a way that you can reduce few steps so that you can bring answer quickly. Okay, so that's the one thing. Now we'll jump to the question number 3. So conjugate of the complex number 1 minus I divided by 1 plus I is. So to get conjugate, we should bring it in a standard form. Only this is given. That default I will take. I want conjugate. It is not in a standard form. So I will multiply by 1 minus I divided by 1 minus I. In order to become 1 minus I the whole square. In order to become a plus b into a square minus b square. 1 minus 2I. Okay. Because it is 1 minus 2a plus b square. It is minus 1 divided by 1 plus 1. So you got this cancel. So you left with minus 2I divided by 2. So conjugate, I got a complex number as minus y minus I. So we all know that x plus iy is a complex number. Its conjugate is x minus iy. Means what I will do, I will change the sign present with I. So here sign present with I is minus. So obviously it's in a standard form. Its conjugate is plus I, which is option number D. Okay. So for third question, right answer is D. So take utmost care in such problem. Don't take much time. Okay. Be accurate. Question number 4. Argument of the complex conjugate of 1 minus I divided by 1 plus I is. So what they want is argument of complex conjugate of this. So we have given complex number again 1 minus I divided by 1 plus I. It is not in a standard form. It is 1 minus I divided by 1 plus I. Okay. So just now we solved this question. So its answer is minus I, right? Just now we solved this question. So we want argument of complex conjugate of this. What is conjugate of this? I. Yes, so conjugate of this thing is I, which can written as 0 plus 1 into I. Argument means what? Argument is given by tan inverse of y by x. We all know. which is, I can say, tan inverse of y is 1. Okay, that is 0. 1 by 0 is not defined. Tan inverse of not defined is pi by 2. Therefore, pi by 2 is the argument of this particular complex number. Is option D is the right answer for this particular question. Because they told argument of complex conjugate of this. Already I got complex number in standard form. I want a conjugate of this. So conjugate of this is plus I. So I form it in an a plus ib style. Argument I know formula. Therefore, it is I applied and I got answer as a pi by 2. So option D is the right answer for this particular question. Let's jump to the fifth question. In fifth question, they expect us to find multiplicative inverse of 7 plus 4i. I taught in my regular class, if z is a complex number, okay, complex number, then multiplicative inverse, don't take it as a mathematical induction. I wrote shortly. If z is a complex number, then multiplicative inverse is given by z bar divided by mod z the whole square. Yes. Therefore, they have given 7 plus 4i as a z, which is already in standard form. Its the multiplicative inverse is given by z bar, means 7 minus 4i divided by mod z. So mod z is nothing but mod of this. Okay. Therefore, mod z the whole square means square root of 7 square, 49 plus 4. This is 7 plus 4i. Yeah. So it is nothing but 49 plus 60. Okay, 16. So which is nothing but we can say 7 minus 4i divided by mod z the square, because they have written. So square root square get cancelled. 49 plus 10, 55. So 49 plus 10, 59. 59 plus 6, it is almost 65. So 7 minus 4i divided by 65. It is 7 minus 4i divided by 65. I guess it may be a print mistake. So just take that option as a 7 minus 4i divided by 65, or you may take this question as a 7 plus 24i also. Okay. If the question is 7 plus 24i, then option B is the right answer. If question is 7 plus 4i, the right answer is 7 minus 4i divided by 65. You take this question as a 7 plus 24i and check. Not issue in that. But with respect to 7 plus 4i, no option suits good because it's a print mistake. Therefore, 7 plus 4i, the right answer is 7 minus 4i divided by 65. You just take care of this question. So we'll jump to the question number 6. In question 6, they expect us, if 1 minus I divided by 1 plus I to the power 100 is equal to a plus ib, then which option is correct? I told one thing always, whenever complex number is given, just check whether it's in standard form or not. This given complex number is not at all in a standard form, just make it a standard. So first what we will do is rationalize. So it is given 1 minus I divided by 1 plus I into 1 minus I upon 1 minus I to the power 100. Numerator become 1 minus I the whole square upon 1 square minus I square to the power 100. So it is nothing but 1 minus 2I I square minus 1 upon 1 plus 1 upon 100. So this is cancelled. We left with minus 2I upon 2 to the power 100. So you left with 2I, that is minus I power 100. Okay. So you got now this particular expression as I power 100. So what I will do now, I will write it as a minus 1 power 100 into I power 100. Minus 1 power 100 is always, when you multiply minus 100 times plus 1, so you have with I power 100. What is the answer for I power 100? We don't know. So I will write it as I power 4 times of 25. It is nothing but 1 power 25. So I got 1, but I want this one to be equated to a plus I. When I equate, you can write it as 1 plus I into 0, right? Because 1 can be replaced. 1 can be replaced. See, I write it as continuation. So, I write continuation here. Minus 100 over 800, 1. That is I power 100, which is nothing but I power 4 to the power 25. I power 4 is 1. So 1 power 25 is 1. 1 can be written as 1 plus I 0. Yes. I will compare it with A plus IB. I got A is 1, B is 0. There is option B is the right answer for this particular question. Okay. Let's jump to the next question. In the next question, they expected some interesting question. What is given is, if 1 plus I, 1 plus 2I, 1 plus 3I, 1 plus Ni is equal to A plus IB, then what is the answer for 2 into 5 into 10? So up to 1 plus n square. This is the answer for this. Very interesting. It's a JEE question. So they have given this expression. With this expression, we need to take answer for this. So what I will do? In the given question, I will apply mod. So I will dot 1 plus I, mod of 1 plus 2I, mod of 1 plus 3I. So up to mod of 1 plus n I is equal to mod of A plus I. So what is mod of this? Square root of 1 plus 1, square root of 1 plus 4, okay, square root of 1 plus 9, square root of 1 plus n square, square root of A square plus B square. I take square on both sides. I got 2, 5, because square root get cancelled. This is 10. I proceed with 1 plus n square. And here if you cancel, you get A square plus B square. So what I did, first I applied mod on both sides. Then I took modulus of the complex number that we know. Then I applied square on both sides. Square. You will cancel with square root. I left with 1 plus 1 2, 4 plus 1 5, 9 plus 1 10. So I got A square plus B square. So which is there in the option, which is option A. So option A is the right answer for this particular question. Okay. So this is a JEE question. So like this, you may ask any kind of question. All you need is your perfect concept. If you have that, you will manage everything easily. Okay. We will move on to the next question. What is given here is, if modulus of z plus z bar plus z minus z bar is equal to 2, then z lies on. Next all question I will give you as exercise based on this category because already I solved. So which option is correct? So what I told, take z as x plus I bar. So if you take x, z as x plus I bar, z bar is nothing but x minus I bar. Yes. Here, if you take this as x plus I bar, this becomes x minus I bar. So you cancel plus I bar minus I bar. You left with mod 2x. Thus here you will cancel x and x. You left with 2 times of I bar, which is equal to 2. Now we all know that it is nothing but, if you take 2 common, it is mod x. Okay. Here I take 2 common. Okay. You left with the modulus of I1. You just take it. It is equal to 2. Okay. Now what will happen is, it is nothing but 2 is common. You left with mod x plus. Just you think why I write this as a 1. This is a mod. You think this is the exercise for it. I have wrote modulus of I1 as mod 1. where that I went. It's a exercise for you. Just think, because given in my synopsis indirectly, where it went, why it went, why it is like this, why it is like this. Just to think. Okay. If you know this, you can easily manage. Okay. Now we all know that mod x has two answers. Mod x is nothing but x. Mod x is nothing but minus x. Mod y is nothing but y. Mod y is nothing but minus y. So one side answer is x plus y is equal to 1. Second side answer is minus x minus y equal to 1. For time being, if you take y 0, okay, if you take y 0, it gives x equal to 1. So x equal to 1 means somewhere here. For time being, if x equal to 0, it becomes y equal to 1. For time being, if you take y 0, it becomes minus x equal to 1. Therefore, x equal to minus 1. So x equal to minus 1 is this line. Similarly, y equal to minus 1. It forms a square. Therefore, option B is the right answer for this particular question. Okay. So this all question based on the synopsis which I taught. So just take care of all this concept why it is like this. Okay. And just note down why this expression is like this. X minus x. So iy plus iy is 2y. But in spite of that, I wrote like this. What is the reason for it? Just to think. Okay. Because everything is given in synopsis. What you people will do, you never see the synopsis. You just come to the problem as if you all by like Ramanujan. So just you read synopsis, then collect some additional idea and come to the problem. Then we'll move on to the ninth question. Point representing complex number z for which mod of z plus 4 the whole square minus mod of z minus 4 the whole square equal to 8 lies on. Again, it's the same category problem. So I'll take z as x plus iy. It is x plus iy plus 4 the whole square minus x plus iy minus 4 the whole square equal to 8. So then I will write x plus 4 plus iy whole square minus x minus 4 plus iy whole square equal to 8. So what is mod is nothing but square root of x plus 4 plus square plus y square the whole square minus x minus 4 the square plus y square the square root the whole square equal to 8. Both sides will get cancelled. You will have with x plus 4 the whole square plus y square minus x minus 4 the whole square plus y square equal to 8. So when x 1, this becomes x square plus 8x. Okay, plus 16 plus y square minus x square minus 8x plus 16 plus y square. So plus x square minus x square plus y square minus y square. So you would have with 8x plus 16 plus 8x minus 16 equal to 8 plus 16 minus 16 get cancelled. So I got 16x equal to 8, x equal to 8 by 16 which is 1 by 2. So x equal to 1 by 2 is the answer. So x equal to 1 by 2, we all know that x equal to 1 by 2, if you take this is a 1 by 2 is half. If you draw a line, it's a line parallel to which axis? Y axis. Therefore, option B, it's a straight line 1 by 2 equal to x, which is parallel to y axis. Therefore, option B is the right answer for this particular question. So we will discuss next question, because we cancel all questions because of this, okay, because of the time constraint. But if I solve some difficult question, you will manage the rest question easily. Therefore, the next question is the least positive integer n for which 1 plus I divided by 1 minus I whole power n real is what is the question is, what is the integer n which is least? If I ask you 1, 2, 3, 4, which is least, you'll say 1. What is the least value of n which makes this complex number real? First question is whether it's a standard form. No, I will make it a standard form. So how to make it standard form? Write it as 1 plus I divided by 1 minus I. Write it as 1 plus I, 1 plus I. Okay, these are power n. So next what we will do here is we will make it as 1 plus I the whole square divided by 1 square plus I square is minus 1. Okay, and write it directly. So it is 1 square plus 2I square is minus 1 upon 2, which I solved already. So I don't want to waste time here. So I have it I raised to n. Okay. Now we all know that if I put n equal to 1, okay, I raised to 1 is I only, which is a imaginary number, not real number. I want real. If I put 2, I square is minus 1. Yes. If I put 2, if I put 3, I cube, I square into I. Again I got minus I. If I put I raised to 4, it is I square and I square. But what is the least value which made it real? There are many numbers, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But the least value which made this expression real as 2. Therefore, 2 is the least integer which makes this expression real. Therefore, option A is the right answer for this particular question. Okay. Now we will move on to the next question. In the next question, what is given is, if A is cos x plus I sin x, what is the value of 1 plus A divided by 1 minus A? So I want 1 plus A divided by 1 minus A. Given A as a cos x plus I sin x divided by 1 minus cos x plus I sin x. Okay, I'll rearrange it. Let me write it as 1 plus cos x plus I sin x. Okay, divided by 1 minus cos x minus I sin x. Okay, I'll multiply it by 1 minus cos x plus I sin x divided by 1 minus cos x plus I sin x. Okay, it looks like almost it is 1 plus cos x plus I sin x, but here you have 1 minus cos x, so it's instead of taking, so we'll do one thing. What if we write the conjugate here? So because it is disturbing a lot, so what we'll do here is we'll write here then 1, okay, we'll write it there 1 plus cos x, okay, plus I sin x. Okay, then if I write this expression as 1 minus cos x minus I sin x, okay, now it is troubling. Okay, therefore what we'll do here is, instead of multiplying by conjugate, it is better have some different method. That is 1 minus cos x. Let me check it this only, which I read just now. But it is tracking actually plus I sin x. Okay. Now, if I do denominator, I can manage easily. A minus b into a plus b. The numerator is troubling a problem. It is giving a big problem. So, if it is this, you can easily manage. So anyhow, I need to bring the minus in such case. So the thing in this question is, okay, we'll take this question later first. Okay, we'll take this question later. We'll check it. Okay, I'll check with the sign present in the question, and if it is valid, we'll discuss. Okay, let me check this question. You just leave this question. Okay, let me take another question. The complex numbers. So till then 10 questions are solved. 11th one I'll check the question. Okay, first the complex numbers 1 minus 1 I root 3 form a triangle, which is 4 options are given. They were given, it forms a triangle. So what kind of triangle it is? Whether it's isosceles, equilateral, right triangle, or what? So 3 complex numbers are given. 1 can be written as 1 plus I0. Therefore its point is 1, 1. Minus 1 can be written as minus 1 plus I0. Its point is nothing but minus 1, 0. Just 1 minus 1. I root 3 can be written as 0 plus I root 3. So its point is 0, root 3. So call this as A, this is a B, this is a C. So whatever the it is, I'll take first AB. Okay, I'll take distance of these 2 points. AB means minus 1, minus 1. It is minus 2 the whole square plus 0 the whole square. So minus 2 the whole square is 4, it is 2. Then I'll take BC. So it is nothing but 0 plus 1, 1 square. And root 3 minus 0 square, so root 3 square. So it becomes 1 plus 3, again 2. So if you take CA, okay, I'll take C as a 1 minus 0, 1 square, 0 minus root 3 square is minus root 3 square. Again its answer is root 4, 2. All 3 sides are equal with same measurement, 2 to 2. Therefore it gives me an equilateral triangle. Okay, so therefore option A is the right answer for this particular question. We'll move on to the next question. In the next question, what is given here is, if z into z bar equal to 0, if and only if they have given z into z bar equal to 0, if and only if. We all know that z into z bar can be written as mod z square. So mod z square equal to 0 means mod z equal to 0. And when mod z equal to 0, mod z equal to 0 means z equal to 0, right? Then only modulus of complex number is 0. Therefore, in this case, option correct is C, that is z equal to 0. So now we will take next question. If root of a plus ib is equal to x plus iy, then possible value of root of a minus ib is, what's the possible value? This they are expected. What is given here is, if root of a plus ib is x plus iy, what is the answer? What if I square on both sides? If I square on both sides, this becomes a minus I, a plus ib. So square will cancel, and here it will become x plus I by the whole square. I will solve this. I will get x square plus 2ab plus b square, which is x square minus y square, yes, plus I times 2xy. So I will compare it with a plus ib. I will get a equal to x square minus y square, b equal to 2xy. I want to answer this question, right? So I will consider now a minus ib. What is a? A is x square minus y square minus I. What is b? 2xy. So it is nothing but x square minus y square minus 2ixy. Okay. Now, if you observe this, can I write this as a in this way? Because when I square x square, iy square, I square is minus 1 minus y square, 2xiy. Yes. So square root cancel. You left with x minus iy, because I can write this term shortening this. Therefore, I got x minus iy. Therefore, option D is the right answer for this particular question. Okay. What is the next question? In the next question, we have given imaginary part of 1 divided by 1 plus cos x minus I sin x. Whether it's in the standard form? No, it's not at all in standard form. So what to do? What if I write like this? 1 plus cos x plus I sin x divided by 1 plus cos x minus I sin x. So it is 1 plus cos x I sin x divided by a minus b to a plus b. That is the a square minus b square. Yes. So 1 plus cos x plus I sin x divided by 1 plus, okay, 2 cos x, okay, plus cos square x. I square is minus 1. So 1 plus cos x plus I sin x upon cos square x plus sin square x is 1. 1 plus 1 2 plus 2 cos x. Yes. So I can write this thing as 1 plus cos x plus I sin x divided by, I can take 2 common out, 1 plus 1. Now I can write this thing as 1 plus cos theta is 2 cos square x by 2. And sin x can be written as 2 sin x by 2 cos x by 2, right? This is the trigonometric formula. 2 cancel. 1 plus cos theta is 2 cos square x by 2. Now in the numerator 2 is common. This 2 will cancel with denominator. You left with cos square x by 2 plus I times of sin x by 2 cos x by 2 divided by 2 cos square x by 2. In the numerator, I will take cos x by 2 common. You left with cos x by 2 plus I sin x by 2 divided by 2 cos square x by 2. Yes. Now cos x by 2 get cancelled. So you left with 1 by 2. Okay. Cos x by 2 plus cos x by 2. 1 plus sin x by 2 plus cos x by 2 is. The thing is here. You now left with this term. You just check here. 1 plus cos square 2 cos square x by 2. 2 sin x by 2. It is 2 I have taken common. 1 plus 2 cos x plus cos square x plus sin square x. Then 2 plus 2 cos x. 2 times 1 plus cos x. 1 plus 2 cos square x by 2. I times 2 sin x by 2 cos x by 2. Nothing is common. 2 cos square x by 2. So cos square x by 2 plus I times of sin x by 2 cos x by 2. 2 is cancelled already. 2 cos square x by 2 correct only. If you take cos x by 2, that is cos x by 2 plus I sin x by 2. Correct. So now you left with cos x by 2 plus I sin x by 2. Okay. Divided by cos x by 2. So you do one thing. You just check possible way of simplifying this. Okay. You just check possible way of simplifying this. Because the one thing is, just I have one question with you. We all know that a plus b by c can be written as a by c plus b by c. Is it here also it is applicable or not? That you think. If yes, what is the answer after simplification? You have with 1 by 2 options, minus tan x by 2 and plus tan x by 2. You just check which option is suits good here, and please reply in this regard. So this one question I gave you as an exercise. Just check which option suits here after simplification. Okay, because we have 1 by 2, or other than 1 by 2 also you will get any answer, that also you check. But you just take care of these things, which option suits well or suits good in this case. Okay. So move on to the next question. So this is an exercise for you. Just solve from next step and let me know what option suits you well. Okay. Next. Amplitude of 0 is. What is the angle of 0? Okay. Is there angle of 0 is 0, pi by 2 minus pi by 2. See, angle of 0 means that there is nothing. Okay, no value suits good here. Therefore, for 0, the amplitude is none of this. You can't say 0 also, because 0 is also certain value. So no value suits good. Amplitude of 0 means, is there any angle with 0? Because why I am saying that 0 is not right option? Because 0 by 2 is also 0. Yes or no? 0 by 2 is 0, means it got two values, 0 and 2. 0 is nothing. If I say this means there is some gap and there is some value. 0 means it is straight line, nothing. So how can you get any values? Therefore, amplitude of 0 is neither 0 nor pi by 2 nor minus pi by 2. So option D is the right answer. It is none of this. Now, we'll move on to the next question. If omega is nth root of unity, then what is the answer for 1 plus omega square so on to omega raised to n? I told nth root. Omega is nth root of unity. Omega is nth root of unity. Unity means what? With this I can say omega raised to n is 1. Okay. We all know that a plus ar plus ar square plus ar raised to n is a geometric series. You learned in your lower classes. Its answer is given by a into 1 minus r raised to n upon 1 minus r. Therefore, this expression, given expression, can be written as first term into 1 minus common ratio is omega upon 1 minus omega. So omega raised to n is 1. Therefore, 1 into 1 minus 1 upon 1 minus omega. So 1 minus 1 is 0. 0 by anything is 0. Therefore, for this particular expression, if omega is nth root of unity, answer is 0, which is option number B. Okay, option B is the right answer for this particular question. Move on to the question number 18. They have given sin pi by 3 plus I times of cos pi by 3 cube. What is the value? If it is cos theta plus I sin theta, I told one formula, it is e power I pi by 3, which I told today in the beginning. So what I will do here is, I will take I common. If I take I common, you left with cos pi by 3 minus, okay, I sin pi by 3. Because I cos pi by 3, I into I square is minus 1, minus become plus. Now, how to write this thing? Let me take one instant. I'll write this expression as cos of minus pi by 3, okay, plus I of sin of minus pi, okay, whole cube. Yes, it's whole cube. Because cos of minus theta is cos theta, sin of minus theta is minus sin theta. Now I told you one de Moivre's theorem to you people. Cos x plus I sin x whole power n can be written as e power ix. Okay, one formula. Another formula is it can be written as cos nx plus I sin nx, which is given in my material. So I can say this as I cube, okay, into cos of 3 times of minus pi by 3 plus I times of sin of 3 times of minus pi by 3. We all know that I cube can be written as I square into I. I square is minus 1. Minus 1 into I is minus I. Right? Into 3 get cancelled. Cos of minus theta is cos theta, it is minus 1 plus I into sin of any pi is 0. So minus I into minus 1 is plus I. Yes? Therefore, it is there in option C. Therefore, option C is the right answer, and it is possible because of the de Moivre's theorem. Okay? More to the 19th question. So read synopsis properly. It will help you a lot. If omega 1 and omega 2 are non-real cube roots of unity, then what is answer for omega 1 raised to 4 plus omega 2 raised to 4? They told omega 1 and omega 2 are non-real cube roots of unity. So they want to say that omega 1 is cube root of 1, which implies omega 1 cube is 1, and they want to say that omega 2 is also cube root of unity, therefore omega 2 cube is also 1. They want now answer, the given expression is equal to omega 1 raised to 4 plus omega 2 raised to 4, which can be written as omega 1 cube into omega plus omega 2 cube into omega. So omega 1 cube is 1 into omega. Omega 2 cube is also 1 into. It is better if I write, okay, so it is omega. Yes or no? So omega 1 raised to 4 plus omega 2 raised to 4. So it is nothing but omega 2 cube into omega. It is omega 1 I need to write here. It is omega 1 raised to 4, omega 2 cube and omega 2. Therefore it is omega 1 cube is 1 into omega 1. Omega 2 cube is also 1 into omega 2. So I got omega 1 plus omega 2. Now in the option they have given something different. Which option suits good? So what you know about omega 1 and omega 2? Okay. We all know that 1 plus omega square is equal to 0. Where omega plus omega square is minus 1. Where omega and omega squares are cube roots of unity. Here they given that omega 1 plus omega 2 both are cube root of unity. Therefore this answer can be written as minus 1. Therefore I'll write this expression as given expression as omega 1 plus omega 2, which is minus 1. Minus 1 can be written as minus 1 by 1. Okay, and I told you when you multiply omega in omega 1 and omega 2, that is if you multiply both cube root of unity, its answer is 1. Therefore 1 can be written as product of two cube roots of unity. Therefore I can write this expression as minus 1 divided by omega 1 into omega 2, which is option A is the right answer for this particular question. Move on to the next question. The point represented by complex number 2 minus I, okay, is rotated about the origin through an angle of pi by 2 in the clockwise direction. The new position of the point is, what is given is, there is a plane, first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant and fourth quadrant. We know that this direction is clockwise, this direction is anti-clockwise. There is a point 2 minus I. 2 minus I is nothing but, in coordinate if you write it is 2 comma minus 1. 2 comma minus 1 is x is positive, y is negative. So somewhere x is positive, y is somewhat here, means this point. This is 2 minus I. They told that this point is rotated in clockwise direction at an angle of 90 degree. Means it will come here. Now it gives you a 90 degree angle. Bit here, bit here. Yes. What is the new position? Means while rotating in a clockwise direction through an angle of 90 degree, okay, means this is a clockwise direction. It is a 90 degree angle it formed. So its position comes in which quadrant? Its position comes in third quadrant. And we all know that in third quadrant, both x as well as y are positive. Just check the option where both x and y are negative. Option B, which is both negative. Therefore, minus 1, minus 2i is the new position of the point 2 minus I when it rotated in a clockwise direction to an angle of pi by 2. Therefore, option B is the right answer for this particular question. Okay. Let's move on to the next question. If z and omega be the complex numbers such that z bar plus I times of omega bar equal to 0 and argument of z omega is equal to pi, what is the answer of argument of z? See, they have given this much. I want answer for what is argument. Argument means amplitude. What we will do here is, we will make this expression in this way. Okay, I will take conjugate on both sides. Z bar the whole bar is equal to, if you take this complex numbers conjugate, it becomes plus I. Yes, then omega bar the whole bar. Z bar the whole bar. Anyhow, z and omega both are complex number. Always keep in mind, if z is a complex number, z bar the whole bar again z omega. I told you it in my theory class. Therefore, this becomes z equal to I omega. Okay, or you can write this as a omega equals to z by I. Or you can rationalize it, I by I, which is zi divided by I square is minus 1, which is minus zi. So you can write in this way also, but what is given here? They have given argument of z omega is equal to pi. always keep in mind argument of z1 z2 is equal to argument of z1 plus argument of z2. Now this can be written as argument of z plus argument of omega equal to I. So I want this thing, so I won't touch this along, plus it is nothing but argument of omega is nothing but minus I. Yes, equal to pi. Again I will treat this thing as this argument of z plus write it as an argument of minus I plus argument of z equal to pi. So it is 2 times of argument of z. What is argument of minus pi? It is minus pi by 2 because they are asking what is angle of minus I. Angle of minus I means it looks like angle of 0 minus I. It is nothing but tan inverse of y by s minus 1 by 0, which is minus of tan inverse of infinity, which is minus pi by 2, which I wrote here, equal to pi. Yes, so I got 2 times of argument of z is equal to pi plus pi by 2, which is 3 pi by 2. But I want argument of z. Argument of z is nothing but 3 pi by 4, because I brought these 2 down. Therefore, 3 pi by 4 is the argument of z in this case. Okay. You just take care of problem number 22 by substituting z as an x plus iy, and you simplify first z minus 1 divided by 2z plus 1. You simplify by substituting z equal to x plus iy. Don't take imaginary part. First you simplify, bring it in a standard form. Then you consider in that complex number imaginary part, equate it with minus 4, cross multiply. Which option is correct? You just put comment. Okay? You just take it as similar. I'll move on to the question number 23. Question number 23. Because it's a similar question number 22. Again, if I solve means it's better I'll give it as an exercise. Okay. So question number 23. So they have given. So make a small correction in the question. It is 1 plus I divided by 2011 divided by 1 minus I. It is not 1 plus I. Make big correction in the question. In the question paper it is printed as a 1 plus I, but make it as a 1 minus I. So how to solve? Both sides 2009 is common. So I'll write it as 1 plus I 2009 divided by 1 minus I 2009 into 1 plus I square. Yes or no? Now I'll write it as 1 plus I divided by 1 minus I 2009 into 1 plus I square. So if I solve, if I rationalize it, which is not in a standard form, 1 plus I to the power 2009 into 1 plus I the whole square. It is 1 plus I square to the power 1 plus 1 to the power 2009 1 plus I square. Okay. So it is 1 plus 2I minus 1 divided by 2 to the power 2009 into 1 plus I square. So it is I power 2009 because 1 get cancelled, 2 get cancelled. It is 1 plus I square, 1 plus 2I minus 1 because I square is minus 1. So it is I power 2009 into 2I. Okay. Now they expect in a very simplest form 2 into I power 2009 into I. If I take 500, 500 fours are 2000. So what if I take 502 into 4? It gives me 4 to the 8, 4 0, 4 5 is 20. So I will make it as 2 times of I raised to 4 times of 2000, 502. It gives me 2008. 1 I left into I. It is 2 into I raised to 4 is I square into I square. That is plus 1 to the power of 501. I into I square minus 1. Therefore 2 into minus 1. The option is minus 2, which is there as a B. Okay, which is there as a D. Therefore, for question number 23, option D is the right answer. Okay, let's move on to the 24th question. In 24th question, they expected z equal to a minus I by 2. Then what is the answer for I plus z mod I minus z mod square? So what do we do? I plus z is already given, a minus I by 2 square minus I minus a minus I by 2 the whole square, which is nothing but a. It is 1 minus 2I minus I by 2. It is 2I minus I by 2 mod square minus 2I minus I by 2 minus a the whole square, which is nothing but mod. So mod means it is a square root of a square plus 1 by 4 whole square minus square root of 1 by 4 plus a square the whole square. Both that terms will cancel because you left with a square plus 1 by 4. Okay, minus 1 by 4 minus a square. So they will cancel. So you left with 0, which is not there in the option. Means we did bit mistake anyway. So the thing is I is mod z square. So mod of this complex number is square root of a square plus 1 by 2 the whole square. It is 1 by 4 and minus it is 1 by 2 the whole square plus a square. So a square plus 1 by 4 minus 1 by 4. Yeah, and it is minus a square. So a square minus a square. So somewhere we did mistake. So z equals to a minus I by 2. So let me check. So I plus a minus I by 2 square minus I minus a minus I by 2. So it is nothing but 2I. So sorry, it is minus a plus I by 2, right? So 2I plus I. It is 3I by 2. I am extremely sorry because 2I minus minus become plus, right? So it will become 9 by 4, not okay. So then it will become 9 by 4. Okay. So 1 minus it is a minus 9 by 4, which I already mentioned. 1 minus 9 is minus 8. Minus 8 by 4 is minus 2. Now yeah, it's in option. It is option B. So option B is the right one. I'm extremely sorry. It is minus a. I minus of minus become plus. So 2I plus I. It's a 3I. So in Hungary I wrote it as a plus. Therefore I got wrong answer. I'm extremely sorry. So now I simplify because it's a complex number. Modular. Because if I write a plus I, you will write it as a square plus b square. Okay. So in this way I got answer minus 2, which is option B. Okay. Next. Let's move on to the question number 25. a plus ib greater than c plus ib, where a b c d belongs to real number is meaningful only when, one thing keep in mind, in real numbers 2 is more than 1, 3 is more than 2, or 10 is more than 1, but there is no such thing in complex number. So order is not valid in complex number. So in complex number there is no such thing that 2 plus 3i is greater than 1 plus 2i. No, never. So therefore I can say in complex number this inequality is not valid. Therefore only in real case it is valid. To make this complex number real, what to do? Vanish imaginary part. Therefore this inequality is valid only when b is 0, d is 0. If you make b 0, this becomes a greater than. If you make d 0, now it is valid. But in complex number there is no such thing. Keep in mind always. This is very important. They are not mentioned in synopsis. So this is the one point to be noted. It's appeared in JEE, West Bengal JEE, which is option correct. So there is no such thing in complex number. So this expression is meaningful only when b is 0, d is 0. Okay? So option D is the right answer for this particular question. Let's move on to the last question of this complex number MCQ session. Rest all you refer synopsis and take interest in solving this. So given xn equal to cos pi by 2 raised to n plus I times of sin pi by 2 raised to n, what is the value of x1, x2, x3 up to infinity? Please make one correction. Instead of this, the question should be like this. Okay? What is the value of x1, x2, x3 infinity? Okay? I want x1. To get x1, what I will do? Cos, I will put n equals 1. Cos pi by 2 plus I sin pi by 2. I told in synopsis, or today when I came, I told what is cos theta plus I sin theta? It is e power I pi by 2. Because I know that cos x plus I sin x can be written as e power x. Similar, what is x2? Put n into this cos pi by 2 square plus I sin pi by 2 square, which is e power I pi by 2 square. Similarly, x3 I can guess e power I pi by 2 cube, so on. Now come to this thing. Now I consider x1, x2, x3 up to infinity. What is x1? E power I pi by 2 into e power I pi by 2 square, e power I pi by 2 cube, so on up to infinity. Now I can say e power, okay, I pi, okay, it is 1 by 2, okay, 1 by 2 square, okay, 1 by 2 cube up to infinity. Why I wrote like this? A power m into a power n is a power m plus n. Therefore, e power I pi by 2 plus e power I pi by 2 square plus e power I pi by 2. This e power I pi is 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 square. Because I know that a power m into a power n into a power some s is a power m plus n plus s. Yes or no? In that I pi is common. Therefore I put 1 by 2, 1 by 2 square, 1 by 2 cube, so on. It looks like a geometric series. Therefore in geometric series, sum to infinity is given by a divided by 1 minus r. First term is 1 by 2 divided by common ratio is 1 by 2, 1 minus 1 by 2. Because always keep in mind, if a plus ar plus ar square up to infinity is geometric series, then sum to infinity is given by first term divided by 1 minus common ratio. Here common ratios are, first term is a. Here first term is 1 by 2. Common ratio is 1 by 2 because 1 by 2 can be written as 1 by 2. 1 by 2 square can be written as 1 by 2 into 1 by 2. 1 by 2 cube can be written as 1 by 2 square into 1 by 2. Therefore 1 by 2 is anyhow common. Therefore I wrote this form like, therefore e power I pi 1 by 2 divided by 2 1 by 2. Therefore 1 by 2 by 1 by 2 is 1. E power I pi into 1 is e power I pi. And how to write e power I pi? I'll write the answer here. Is cos pi plus I sin pi. We know that the sign of any variable pi is 0. 0 pi is 0. So cos pi is minus 1. Let me check the answer. Is there any option? Yeah. Option B is the right answer for this particular question. So far I discussed almost all bit difficult questions. So remaining you can manage by referring the synopsis. If you face any difficulties, you just approach me. I will give my 100% to convince in this problem or in this regard. Okay. So just take care about this problem. Take care. Thank you very much. So this is the end of complex number MCQ. So with this I can say complex number whole chapters covered, complex number MCQs also covered. If you have any doubt, don't think that this is the one session I covered. Not I do. Come approach me. I will help in any regard in complex number. Okay. So according to weightage I am taking chapters in that way. Okay. Therefore I took this chapter. So I covered almost all good questions. All are very good appeared JEE question, KCET questions. So you just show interest in solving remaining questions. Okay. So with this I get the confirmation from mathematics department. Sets covered, relation function covered, MI covered, trigonometry covered, complex number covered. So 5 chapters got over along with MCQs. So we'll begin. Hope so college will start soon as government give any green signal. Let me check. Okay. So hope so. So we will discuss remaining chapters soon. Okay. Thank you very much. Till then, take care.